What's going on, everyone? It's Bars, and I'm back for a brand new video on the channel and a new series that'll be starting from, well, this Saturday, today, and every Saturday going forward. I'll be doing Premier League preview. So I'll just literally go through all the games and who I think will win, what I think the result will be, maybe a good fantasy player, if anyone that watches it does fantasy and they want to tip, I don't know, from me. Take advice from me. Don't blame me if it goes south for you, because it's not my fault. I'm just giving a recommendation. But anyway, let's get straight into the first game. So, first game is Wolverhampton and Manchester City. This one's a bit of a tricky one. I generally would think Manchester City would run away with this game generally, but being Wolverhampton at home, and the last 4 times apparently that the championship winners have played the Premier League champions that year, they've lost all 4 times when they've played, like the Premier League champions played away. So stats don't lie, but I would expect Man City to come on top of that one. I'd probably say maybe a 3-1 win. I wouldn't put my house on Man City keeping a clean sheet against Wolves at home, because Wolves are pretty good going attackingly. So yeah, I think 3-1 will be the end result. I think fantasy play to keep an eye on that one. Obviously, I could say Aguero, that's got the 3 goals last week and got his hat trick. But I'd probably say Ben Mendy would be the one I'd look out for. Attacking left back, I've got him in my own fantasy team, and he just raids down that left side, creating so many chances. And yeah, he almost plays like a left wing, and when he's playing as a left back, so I'd keep an eye on him. Yep. So next game is Arsenal West Ham. I expect Arsenal to get back on the winners list for the first time this season, especially at home to West Ham. West Ham been leaking quite a lot of goals. They leaked, I think it was like 4 last week to Liverpool. The first week to Liverpool, and then last week they leaked 2 goals to Bournemouth when they were playing at home. So I'd expect Arsenal to come out on top. I'd probably say that one would be, or maybe a 3-0 win to Arsenal, I'd predict. I don't think West Ham are going too great, and it doesn't get any easier playing Arsenal at home. They're not actually going that bad. They just had 2 tough games in Man City and Chelsea as the first 2 games for Arsenal. So that's why I think that they'll get back to winning ways. Probably the one to keep an eye on that one would be, in terms of fantasy, would be Aubameyang. I had him in my fantasy team, got rid of him this week, which I think will be a bit of a mistake. But I played my wild card, so I made changes and whatever. So I won't go into detail with that. But Aubameyang had to go, so I'm a bit nervous that he may score quite well tonight. Might score a couple of goals. And maybe also Mkhitaryan as well would be the other one to keep an eye on. He'd probably be a good shout to get on the score sheet as well for Arsenal. Next game, Bournemouth Everton. That one's a bit of a tricky one, because Bournemouth have been quite good so far this season, and Everton have been very, very good as well. Especially with their new signings like Richarlison, and that I'd expect Kurt Zouma or Yerry Mina to come in at some point for them. In terms of new signings, Bernard shouldn't be very far away either for them to come in. Their sign they got as well, so I'd expect some new faces eventually coming in. And in terms of Bournemouth, they've been solid at the start of the season. Eddie has a great manager for them, so I expect to put up a good fight. But I'd predict maybe a 2-1 win to Everton in this one, or a 3-2 win. It'd be a high scoring game, I think. Both teams are quite attacking, and the player, you can't go past the one player to watch in that game. Richarlison, 3 goals in 2 games. Big money signing for Everton, so I'd keep an eye on him. And also Theo Walcott as well, started pretty well in this season. So next game, Huddersfield-Cardiff. Now this one's certainly going to be an important game, probably, that will define these 2 teams' seasons. I'd probably say Huddersfield at home would probably get the job done. I think it would only be maybe a 1-0 win, possibly maybe a 2-1, if that, just because those teams aren't as strong. So I think that they'll could even be a 0-0 draw. I don't know, but I'd predict Huddersfield just. But I may I'll change it. I'll go for a 1-1 draw. I think a 1-1 draw is probably good for that one. In terms of that game, I'd probably say something to keep an eye on, probably Aaron Moy, fellow Australian, probably keep an eye on him. He probably got a good shout to maybe if they do score, possibly from a set piece or or he might even score a free kick or something like that, or a penalty. So yeah, that one probably won't be the most interesting game, but hey, I could be wrong. Could be like a 3-3 or anything. Southampton Leicester. This one's another interesting game as well. Leicester have started the season very, very well, and Southampton, before the season I tipped them for relegation, but they've got Danny Ings up front now, so who knows, he could get maybe 10, 15 goals this season in the Premier League and have enough to keep them up. But I'd probably say Leicester would be too strong for that one, even though it is away. I'd probably say that they'd get it. I think it'll be maybe a 3-1 win to Leicester, I think, maybe even a 2-1 win to Leicester. I think Southampton will score. I think Ings should get on the score sheet. But hey, could be 2-2 draw or anything like that. It's toss the coin, that game again. Liverpool Brighton, well, this one I think as much as Brighton did well against my team Manchester United last week, going to Anfield and playing Liverpool in this sort of form is not really what you want, especially coming off a great win the week before. So I would probably predict that one to be probably a 4-5 5-0 win for Liverpool. Possibly Brighton may get a goal. Possibly could be a 4-1. I'd probably say 4-0. I'll tip 4-0 for that one. And in terms of the player I'd watch in that game, I'd probably how could you go past Mo Salah? I'm probably going to put him as my captain, my fantasy team this week. Sadio Mane's got the 3 goals in 2 games, so probably people are thinking, why not pick him for captain? Why not pick him? He's the one in form. But I just think Mo Salah scored in the first game, got 2 assists last week. He's bound to get at least 2 goals in a game very shortly, and I really don't want to miss out not having captain when he scores that. So I think he'll do well for that. And I just realised I forgot player to watch in the Southampton Leicester game. I'd say Danny Ings again. Just got in my fantasy team for Aubameyang to free up funds to get Marino in midfield. So I'd probably say Ings would be the one to watch. Also maybe Ricardo Pereira for Leicester. They're right back. He's getting forward a lot and creating a lot of chances. So I'd look out for him. On to the Sunday games now. Watford Palace. Now, both teams are actually... Watford surprised me this season, the way they've played so far. But I would expect Crystal Palace to win that one, even though Watford have been quite strong. I think Palace are solid at the back. They've got some good attackers like Zaha. Benteke's bound to hit some form soon, you'd think, with some of the service he'll hopefully get from maybe a Schlupp or Townsend or someone on the wings. I'd predict that one to be possibly a 2-0 win to Palace, maybe even a 2-1 win being Watford's home game. But I think it'll be a 2-0 win to Palace. And in terms of player I watch, Zaha. I'd pick Zaha. He's in my team. Probably a lot of these players are in my team, but I'm probably being a bit biased. But I'd probably say that Zaha would be the one I'd look for. He's probably going to be the one that's likely to score out of the Palace players. So he'd be the one to watch. 3 more games to go, guys. Fulham Burnley. Now, this one's a bit tricky because Burnley have been playing in the Europa League, so they could be quite tired. They've shown signs of being a bit leaky at the back to start the season, so I can't see that not continuing. And Fulham have been alright. They probably were a bit unlucky not to get a point against Tottenham last week. They started well. They probably should have had 2 or 3 goals before Tottenham got their second goal with Trippier's fantastic free kick. But yeah, I'd probably say that I'd say Fulham would probably win that one. I think that will be a 1 or 2-0 win for them. I don't know if Burnley are gonna be able to score. I think they're just struggling at the moment with having to play 2 competitions, and probably haven't got their best 11 really on the park or 100% fit. So I'd probably go for Fulham there. I think that they'll notch their first win for the campaign. Player I'd probably watch in that one. I think Ryan Sessegnon would be a good shout to look in at that one. He started he started all right. He hasn't really. He's got the one assist. But I'd keep an eye on him. He's probably likely to. He's bound to score a few goals down the track. So I'd probably keep an eye on him. I'd also keep an eye on Mitrovic as well. He's actually had the equal most shots there, along with Sergio Aguero. So he's had more shots than people like Jesus, Lukaku, people like that. Firmino, Vardy. He's had more shots than all of them. So he's even had more shots than Mo Salah as well. So and Sadio Mane. So he's probably going to score a couple of goals in a game very shortly. So this could be the game. Could be the game. It could be a 2-3-0 win. I think it'd be a 2-0 win. But yeah. So next game, Newcastle-Chelsea. Over the last probably 10 years, Newcastle have been Chelsea's bogey side generally. A lot of times Newcastle have beaten Chelsea, and especially at St James's Park as well. So that'll be a tough game for Chelsea. I don't think that they're going to be able to just go there and expect to get the 3 points. So I would probably say, I'd still say Chelsea, but I think it'd be a little bit close to what people actually probably think it'd be. I think people are probably thinking, oh, Chelsea should get 3-4-0 win here. I'd predict, I'd say a 3-1. I think a 3-1 or a 3-2. Because I think Newcastle will score, being at home. Actually, I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'll go for a 2-1 win to Chelsea, I think. I think Newcastle will be they're quite good at the back, being at home. So I think that they'll score. It'll be, I think, 2-1 win to Chelsea just. And the player I'd probably watch in that game, it's a bit hard. I would have said Eden Hazard, but he's been on the bench. And he's still probably getting fully fit from after the World Cup. And Sarri came out earlier in this week and said that Hazard will play 50 to 60 minutes this week. So that could mean he might start. He might come on at half time. Who knows? I'm not sure. But I'd probably say the player to watch in that one would be. It's a really tough one. I'd say for the home side, I'd probably keep an eye on Rondon. I think he may start this week finally. Hostel, I think, will have to make way. I'd probably keep an eye on Rondon to probably score for Newcastle on his debut, on his full debut. But for Chelsea, I'd probably keep an eye on maybe Alonso as left back. He's got 2 assists and a goal in his first 2 games, so he's been really, really solid to open the season up. So I'd keep an eye on probably those 2 guys. And then finally, my boys, Manchester United taking on Everton. Everton. Seriously. I wish I'd cut that out. That was embarrassing. Because I got it right here on my computer. Manchester United and Tottenham. That's the team, Tottenham. Got it right, finally. At Old Trafford. Manchester United last week with a bit of a disappointing loss to Brighton away 3-2. Was not particularly happy for staying up for that one. It was a waste of probably 2 hours of my life, really. I could have got back. And Tottenham have gone along nicely. They got 2 from 2. Got the job done at Newcastle. Nothing spectacular, and they got the job done quite comfortably against Fulham, even though I that Fulham probably could have a couple more goals early on and probably could have gone in front, but they didn't. So, but Spurs got it done, and they looked good for the last 20 minutes. But I'd still say United are going to win that one. Probably a bit biased, but hey, I don't care. Sue me. I really couldn't care. I'm just saying who I think will win. It's my opinion. I think they'll win. Marino's got a good record against the top 6 sides, and they're generally not high scoring at all. So I'm going to predict. I'd say a 2-1 Manchester United win. I still think we're not solid at the back at the moment. We're too many problems. But I think it'll be a 2-1 win United. Pogba's looking good, so he didn't have the best game last week, but Shaw is looking right as well. I'm glad he's starting as well in the team. Lukaku should be in. I think Matic will come back into holding midfield this week. I think Valencia will come back in at right back, which may mean Shaw may get pushed out for Young. Just Young being the more experienced. I'd love to see Shaw in more and keep his place. But hey, I'm not. I don't know what Jose Mourinho's going to do. So and I'd play Martial as well. I really rate him. I think he's got more potential than Sanchez. Sanchez is like 28, 29. Martial's 20, 21. So he's got a lot more years to grow, and I don't want us to sell him. I think he's probably one of our best prospects in terms of our youth. But Sanchez will probably get the start if he's fit. They say he's a 75% chance of playing, and Marino came out and said that he's pretty much got everyone fit. So I don't know. So it depends if he'll start or if he'll come on in the second half. But I expect Sanchez to start. Just that's how Marino works. I don't know if he's the biggest fan of Martial, but hey, I don't know what goes on that dressing room. But yeah, so the one I keep an eye on, Paul Pogba in that one. Pogba is taking a penalty. It looks like he's taking our penalties now over Lukaku, so I'd probably say he's a good shout to probably do quite well, I'd hope. And hopefully, if Valencia's not in, he'll be the captain again. So if Valencia's in, then he'll have to get the armband up, but I would expect he probably won't be captain because I think Valencia will play. But they may play him on the bench. I don't know. They might just get Valencia on maybe for the last 30 minutes. I'm not sure. But I'd expect him to do quite well. Lukaku might be also a good shout. And in terms of Tottenham, I haven't talked about them too much, but I would say they'll cause quite a lot of problems for United. They've got a good manager. They've got a good team, solid 11. Harry Kane up front, top 3 strikers in the Premier League. So it'd be interesting to see how our defence matches up to like the likes of Kane, Eriksen and Ali, people like that. But I expect United to just get the job done and get back on track. I would love a 3-4-0 win, but I don't see any of Mourinho's teams winning that by that much. So yeah, so that's all the games previewed pretty much. And then I'm literally just going to run through my fantasy team real quick. I'll just run through the 11. So I've got Edison for Man City's goalkeeper. Then I've got the 3 defenders, Mendy, Alexander-Arnold and Tompkins. Then midfield of Mo Salah, Richarlison, Pogba and Mane, with Pogba being the Salah being my captain. I think he's going to do quite well this week. And then my forwards, Danny Ings, Wilfred Zaha and Aguero up front. And then on the bench I've got Matt Ryan, Kante, Bennett and Wan-Bissaka. So you guys probably don't know who half those players are, but hey, I read it out. It's not my finalised team yet, but I think it's pretty good in what's going on. But yeah, so it's getting a bit dark now. Probably not seeming as well. Probably should have turned a light on, but hey, what can you do? Can't do anything really, because I don't really want to get up mid-video and turn the light on. So yeah, because I'm finishing up now. So anyway, thank you for joining me. This will be my regular series now, I think. Well, not I think, it will be. Every Saturday afternoon, I'll be putting this up. I'll hopefully be, if there's a Friday night game, Premier League, like Saturday morning for us, Friday for England, I'll probably do it on Friday night. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to doing this series and previewing all these games, and might actually, speaking out loud, might influence how well I do in fantasy. So yeah, and I'll do it for the AFL finals as well. So there'll be new videos coming out for the final. So if you like the video, give it a like as usual. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully next video will be out soon. So cheers guys.